Hi there, my name is Amy and I'm the owner of Yoga Grow, and I'm here at my home about to share with you a flow called Open Up. You'll find a whole lot of shoulder opening, that is the main focus, and a minor in twists, so I hope that it helps you feel some changes and that you enjoy. Begin in Ragdoll. Step your feet to your hip distance, or more likely a bit wider than that. Get a generous bend in your legs, and of course take your standing forward folds, and today clasp your elbows. Your eyes closed. With eyes still closed, treat this like a place to ground, but also a touch of a balance pose. Put your weight into your toes and learn to trust your body as it does tip forward gently. Enjoy the weight in your head and use your legs like a prop. Challenge your lung capacity by breathing against your leg bones. And then still leaning forward, release the grip of your arms. Walk your feet beneath your hips. And for your first roll up, be very aware of your sit bones. Let them start to curl down as in a cat pose. Your fingers will likely abandon the floor as soon as you do that. Keep heavy arms. Your belly is on the rise. Your chin is tucked. As you begin to vertical, open your hip creases and float your right arm up into the air. Do a bit of single side work. Your fingers, the webbing of your hand is spread. You're reaching in this nice high five shape. With the left hand pulling firmly down, begin a huge circle with your right arm. Your neck, your gaze will follow. Bring your arms to about your shoulder level. Eyes could be on the back corner of the room or on the back thumb. As you reach this part of the twist, encourage your hips to twist to the left. Perhaps if it's there, reach farther down towards the floor. Get a final reach to kick off the return. Your fingers act like they're putting a glove on, and you shape the arm in a huge circle. Feel the specific rotation of your ribs coming right back over your hips, and then immediately bend your wrist, tuck your chin, fold back into your standing forward folds. Your guts rise up as the remainder of the trunk falls down, the knees bend. And then just as soon as you get comfortable, you roll back up, heavily draped arms. Collect your sit bones down, open your hip creases, let the left arm go flying up. Your fingers spread, you turn your pinky back, and you display your chest over to this left side. Again, you halt at about your shoulder level. Turn your hips right as you convey this arm over to the left. Right arm is strong and beside you. Maybe you've got the space to reach down. Then make that experience a bit bigger as you return your arm. It scales its way all the way back over until your ribs rotate back over your hips. Your knees are facing front, your wrist bends, you're hauled into your standing forward folds. One more each side, immediately roll up. More dramatically, those hip creases kick forward. Stick straight legs as the right arm rises and begins its big circle. A moment of pause as you really jab the hips over to the left. Perhaps your right arm can reach a little farther down this range of motion. Put on the imaginary glove so your fingers are engaged. You reach back over with some tension. Rib cage works itself right back over the hips. Chin is onto your throat as you roll down. You're guided by the bend in your wrist. Then finalize it with this left side roll up. The hip creases will fly that left arm up. Your sit bones are pulled below you as you scale the arm up, over and back. Remember to turn your pelvis right, fingers reach down, having more to avoid, more to be pulled away from. Reach into that imaginary glove, tension in the arm as you work back over. As your arm pulls up high enough, you'll feel inspired to turn the ribs. Bend your wrist, roll your body back down. Bend your legs to accommodate your standing forward fold. Just get a moment of hang. You again feel your breath hitting against your legs. Your first proper flat back pose. Slide your hands up your shins. To still emphasize your shoulders, go from a slouch position to massively rolling the outer corners of your shoulders back. Your arms are straight, your guts are up. When you next breathe out, bend your legs, drift your body back down into a fold, your head being the last thing to close the position. Flat back. Standing forward fold, the legs bend and you're caught bit by beat as you release the belly down, the ribs down, the head. The body rhythms up, flat back. One more standing forward folds. Then keep your body in flat back pose. Really strike the shoulders open, lift your belly off of the floor, wiggle your feet directly below the hips. The toes could even touch so you have a nice, strong yet narrow base. And then in an instant, bend your knees, tap the fingerprints down so they're just tented. Take a long step back with the left leg. Let the ball of your foot land and then accommodate. Pull your fingers beneath the shoulders. The back knee will bend, your chin will tuck. Your arms are hanging, but as your belly starts ascending, your hands will abandon the floor. Let's keep the arms heavy. Cat your sit bones, really slope them beneath your body. Then as you come upright, drive your left fingers down, reach your right arm up. Peel the right pinky finger open. Then get longer in your legs, push out through the left heel as you circle the right arm back. And of course you do turn your chest. Your eyes will follow to their best ability. Your hand goes straight back. Maybe it goes down towards that back taut heel, and you're still pushing out through the left heel. Reach down. Come over with some emphasis, reach up. Just like you did in mountain pose, feel your rib cage spiral over your hips. Use a circle action to lift the left arm wide and high. Pull your thumbs back and experience the lunge pose. Get your sit bones down. Navel up as if it's trying to catch the throat. Chin lifts gently off of that lifted throat. Then from grounded sit bones, let your butt stick out to disintegrate. Keep vertical in your chest. Grow very light on the fingertips. Slide or hop the back foot to meet the front so you're in flat back again. Tuck your chin onto your throat. Muscle your shoulders back. Soften your knees, take a long step back with the right leg. When you land on the ball of the foot, slide your hands in to accommodate just beneath the shoulders. Chin tuck, round spine, right leg is bent. Roll up with heavy arms. Feel the weight of the left big toe and the bigness of that left sit bone hauling down and hooking in. The right arm will stay heavy. Let the left arm stretch up. The arms really split apart. Push out through the back heel as your left pinky now begins to open. And you twist that upper piece of your trunk as the right arm keeps you very squared in your hips. Gives you something to work away from. Your finger practically reaches for that back sharp heel. Maybe you reach down. Then scale the arm big and over. When that left arm is nearly up and overhead, your ribs have corkscrewed over your hips. The right arm does a circular reach before you turn the body into a very typical crescent lunge. Add in the back bend, throw your thumbs back, scoop your sit bones low, chin lightly off of your throat, eyes up. Disintegrate, let your sit bones stick out, dive over this front leg. Do it all again with a very horizontal spine sticking out from the hips. Slide or hop to flat back. Right foot meets left. Knees soften, long step back with the left foot. Back knee is slack, roll up. The left hand stays fixed, it gets stronger, the right arm floats. Your back heel is already activated as you rainbow this right arm back and open. You check in with the hips as you toy with the idea of reaching your fingers down towards the back straight leg. And you come back very triumphant. You gain a millimeter of that whole entire circle swipe. Your ribs come over your hips. The left arm circles wide. You turn it into your crescent lunge. Reach through the inside of the left heel. Pull your thumbs back. Disintegrate. Reach your chest forward. Tent the fingers. The back foot meets the front one. Flat back. Chin to throat. So your neck isn't stressed. Long step back with the right leg as your left knee will of course bend. Soften that back leg, roll up. Keep the right hand fixed as the left arm goes flying high. As you become vertical, flick the left pinky out. Get a big reach as you arc that arm towards the back of the room. Perhaps you go as far as reaching your hand down towards the straight back leg. The right finger stretching for the floor just to defy all that's going on here. With great reach, you come back over. The left arm will stay buoyant in the air. Your ribs will get over your hips. Circle your right arm up to meet. Lean yourself up and back. Get your sit bones to hold you up. Your shoulder blades to hold up your chest. And then push your way out of it. Flat back. Chin a little tuck. Then from this flat back pose, allow your legs to bend so that your hands can plant effortlessly and take your first high plank pose. One foot follows the other. Treat it like flat back. You want the outsides of the shoulders fully tucked in and backwards. Your heels poking back, your legs participating. Do not lose your legs. Just bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Stay. Feel your arms squeeze in against your side body. While hovering here with your guts up, untuck one foot at a time. Feel length in your ankles and in your shins. Straighten your arms and you'll nearly be in that upward dog. Fixate the shoulders back. Get creative here. Get some enthusiasm in your newly widened chest. Your butt is already pulled down to protect your back. To exit, tuck your chin. Pull your butt down more, but slope your upper legs, your thigh bones up. Your hands are pushing hard and down, your elbows are straight. And then when you're forced to, you flip one foot at a time. Doing that separately will just hold space in your body and your distance from feet to hands. Catch a breath here. Flip your right foot over, the toenail side of the foot down. Just for emphasis, just for a change in that ankle space. Point your toes so violently that the leg is forced to begin floating. Notice your end points at the height of that leg lift. Peel your hip crease open. When your hip is fully open, bend your knee with some thought so the back of the hamstring is squeezed. Correct yourself by pulling the right armpit down. For a knee to nose, let the thigh bone in that right leg clunk down rather mechanically, so your thighs are nearly parallel. Hike your left heel for room. Round your butt down so that your guts can't help but lift from squeezed fingers, knee to nose. Do translate your weight over your wrists, so you're on the toes, the ball of that back foot. And then back it out from reliable elbows. Push that right knee back up into the air. Peel yourself fully open, perhaps gain a touch of space. Become nearly parallel. Very mechanically, clunk your right thigh bone into shape. Dart the left heel up, round your sit bones, motion forward. And then very calmly, very confidently hike up enough, push down enough that you can step the right foot. And then your back knee will be on slack. The same method, you roll up. The left bone is especially observant to pull down below you. Keep heavy arms. And then for this new challenge, roll your shoulders back. Spread your fingers, bend your wrists, and act like you're pushing the heat of the room down, like your hands are on some type of heavy ledge. Add the left heel pushing back. And then just breathe in a method that does widen your chest, your arms perfectly straight. Your reminders are to tuck the right hip backwards and almost tuck it over to the left. So your hips can't help but hold onto your tailbone. Your wrists are stretching, your fingers are stretching. The shape of the arms doesn't change, but the angle does float them up to your shoulder height. The hands act like they're now pushing this front wall off of you. But you work with that, you pull your shoulders back into your body, so it's this secondary entitlement. The hands can go forward, but your shoulders must go back. Strong back heel. Full breath, nice wide chest. Stay attentive to your left sit bone pulling down, although that back leg is straight. Your transition comes through the left hand. Start to move it out to the left. As you do this, be stealthy with the back foot. You turn the left heel in. Challenge yourself not to land that heel until your left arm is fully behind you. And then engage completely. Push the sides of the room away. In your warrior two, definitely inch into the front foot. Feel like although your left shoulder is turned open and back and your left hand is back, there's some attempt and reminder to turn the left hip forward towards the right knee, the right hand. Then think of wringing the body out. Think of that corkscrew term that we've already used. Let's keep our feet planted, but bring your chest to a square shape. Your ribs will be twisted over your hips. That is good. And then continue to turn. The back heel will pick up. Then finally, you can take that stretch out of the wrists as your body has turned fully over to your right, to your best ability. Eyes on the side of the room, or maybe where the back corner of the room is. Fingers are reaching out, shoulders are sucking in. Do not lose that back heel, whatever you do. Then keep your arms at a T. If anything, pull the shoulders down, lift your ears up. Calmly center yourself to your crescent lunge. Flip your palms up, pull your thumbs back. Treat it more like a back bend. Let the biceps stretch as well. Tuck your sit bones down, raise your arms and your eyes up. And then dive over this front leg. We'll take a flow. Your guts pick up. When your handprints land, sweep the right foot back. Hear that happen. Bend your elbows. Hover to take the time to flip one foot at a time. Straighten your arms, upward dog. Sit bones are scaling down into the backs of your hamstrings. Tuck your chin. Move your thigh bones up as you slam your fingerprints down. Roll up and over your feet until you're forced to flip them over. Left side, secure your shoulders, and then just be observant. Calmly flip the left foot over. You might stare right into that pointed leg. And then tension and effort, begin to float that leg, muscle to bone as it rises into thick air. Peel your hip crease open at the height of that lift, bend your knee. With your hamstring feeling strong, let your hips close, you're back to that square shape. Pull your belly up, lift your right heel, and then for the first time on this side, hold that left knee in towards your face. Your weight goes over your wrists. Stretch the legs slowly back up. You calmly take on that heat. You allow the whole thing to happen, beginning to end. With your armpits facing down, close your hip rather abruptly. With your right heel up and both sit bones pulled to the backs of the knees. Take your further travel. With very straight arms, slowly let that left foot release between the hands. Back leg bends softly as we roll up. Your tailbone is literally seeking out the back of that bent right knee. From a slouch position, roll your shoulders open and then use imagination. Bend your wrists, push your hands into the floor, stick the right heel out. And breathe. Both sit bones scooping. Your butt acts like almost bookends to hold your tailbone in, tailbone being the book. Keep your chest wide, bring your arms up to your shoulder height. The wrists are still bent. Suck your shoulders into your body. Keep this type of resistance, and then your transition comes from keeping the right hip crease forward, but beginning to travel wide with the right blade hand. Watch your right heel, or watch my right heel turn in. Challenge yourself not to fix that heel down until your arm is fully behind you. And then work your warrior two. Find the depth in the front leg, spread your fingers, ears up, throat up, shoulders down. After a few breaths, very much directed over this front hand, let your torso move independently of your legs. Begin to square it off. As you reach a sturdy center, feel forced to and interested in lifting that back heel up. Your twist will carry on over to the left. And at what feels like your end point, you straighten your wrists. Your fingers reach for the opposite ends of the room. That left shin is still sticking forward. Your shoulders suck into center line. Your legs are scissoring together. Nothing is lost in the back heel. Back to center with chest. To inspire a back bend, change your arm angle, flip your thumbs. Engage your shoulder blades below your heart. Lift your eyes, lift your arms. Take a float. Let your chest move out of your hips. Keep sucking that left hip back. High plank is where you begin. As soon as you have your footing, low plank, bend your elbows. Top the feet over. Upward dog, of course. And downward dog. Step to the top of the mat. Step into a flat back, I should say. And bring your hands right onto your shins. Bend your legs, take yourself into a standing forward fold. Still pretty alert. Belly is up, flat back. Standing forward fold. Stay in your flat back this time, the hands on the knees. And then lift your heels first. Heels are up. You treat this like a little balance pose. Let's hover here. Your chest is forward, all of your weight is forward because you no longer have your heels to rely on. Now bend your knees with your chest still here. And then sit the hips down towards the heels. The chest will become vertical. You have a moment to let yourself sit. Don't be surprised if the knees crack, that is okay. Press your palms into the ends of your legs, straighten your arms, lift your chest up. Take a few breaths experiencing this foot stretch. And mindfully really pluck the torso off of the bent legs. Treat the bottom end of your body like it's very still, and then let's begin to twist the upper half. Take your left hand to your right knee. Let the right arm go up towards the ceiling. You've done this plenty of times. Turn your chest as you do continue that very familiar circle, but now it does have a place to land. Your hand will hit your tailbone, so bring it to the center of your low back. Fix that right shoulder onto your body. Lengthen your waist as your hand can literally push your tailbone, your sit bones down. Your hand can reach directly for the floor before it circles its way back up. Your chest will come around to square. You'll have your hands onto your knees, back to their original place, and then just morph into flat back. Let your heels hit the ground. Stick your chest forward. Belly is rising up. Bend your legs, standing forward fold. Flat back. Heels up. Treat it like a balance pose. Hands are on or below the knees. And then knees into hands. Trust the toes. It can be shaky on that descend. But once you're comfortably in place, fix it, push your knees down, drive your armpits up. And then a little crossing for the hands. Keep your low body as still as possible. Right hand to left knee. Left arm buoyantly lifted. Pinky out. Chest arcs up. You know the twist, and then feel like you can stop the twist as the hand hits your low back. Fixate this left shoulder open, and then push your right hand down, lift your body up. Twist and breathe. Strike the left fingers down to bring your body back around, but finish it off. Reach back, reach up, and of course forward. Get that spin of the ribs over your hips. Flat back. Standing forward fold. Flat back. And standing forward fold. Flat back. And then repeat one final experience in that squat. Pike your heels. Experience this first. Your feet will be tired. Push your knees into your hands. And let the body have that purposeful, that productive collapse down. And this time, use your hands to steer your knees out. Let your heels bump together or almost bump together. And keep the hands on the ends of your knees to make the most of your rising torso. Hands down, heart up. And flip your palms up. Feel like the outer hips are working, but there's still some tension on the inner thighs, almost as if the knees could knock together, but they do not move. You're just strong on inseam and outseam of leg. Your chest is calm, and again, your hands will help that in their upright shape. Find a place to stare as you circle your arms wide and high. You decide, parted hands or palms touching above your head. And then it gets fancy and combined. Your knees glue together. Your fingers strike forward. Let your heels land on the floor. Take a massive twist over to your right. Keep your chest and your eyes down. Once you have that left elbow where you want it, go from eyes down to rolling the right shoulder back. Then scale your eyes up the side wall. Then sit more honestly into the hips. Push your right hand into your left hand. Breathe effectively. Be capable of raising your belly off of your legs. And standing forward fold. Begin to topple as the legs straighten. And flat back. I lied. Do that balance pose again so you can match up the sides. Start the heels up. Push your knees forward. Once you're in your comfortable seat, hands down, heart up. The hands just delicately guide the knees wide. And then go right into it the second time. Bring your arms up overhead. Prayer the hands. Suction the knees together. Fingertips forward. When the heels hit the mat, tuck your right elbow below you. Look down as you work your shape. When you feel connected, then get a big roll back of the left shoulder. Prayer the hands. Push hard on the left hand. And then the eyes might move up. If it's there, the hips sit lower. And then you finalize it with the standing forward folds. Roll up into extended mountain. Scoop your hips down, circle your arms wide and high. Lace your hands up above your head and push your palms up. Feel like when you do this, you pull the glove, the skin of the whole body, tautly over palms. Your hands are practically pulling up and away from your feet. Then a bit like the letter C or a question mark shape, get a little soft in the legs, scoop your belly in to push your palm prints forward. Breathe into your mid-back. And then drive the hands forward and up. Really stomp the feet down. And then break your hands apart. One more standing twist. This time bring it from both arms. They take a split as your right hand goes back. Your left hand stays neutral and forward like you're shaking someone's hand at the front of the room. Eyes on the side of the room or on the back hand. The same advice persists. Turn your hips a little bit left. And take your arms back up above the head. This is a combined action. When the arms start to slice together, your ribs, your lungs, right and left, will come back to center. Give it another kick, another reach up, and the left arm goes backwards. Right hand, of course, just a hand that's trying to shake someone's at the other end of the room. Your hips are actioning themselves to the right. Reach apart and then at the same time begin to focus the hands back towards center. Feel the way that the lungs shear and shift back. Latch your hands a final time. Press the palm prints up. Break the hands and bow down. Get a really generous leg bend here. Like in the beginning of class, let your belly breathe against your bent legs. Tabletop. Directly into a cat pose. With your head down, let your sit bones begin to change as they shift high. Belly and ribs fall, your chest moves towards your face. The fingers are taut as your chin and your throat rise. Pull your sit bones down, let your belly be on the rise as you motion into cat. Your ribs participate. Your head will fall, but then you do more than that. You tuck the chin on purpose. Sit bones up, belly falls. You roll into cow. Assist the throat on rising, the shoulders on widening. You'll stay in your next cat pose. From cat, your front body stays muscled up. You lean your hips back towards your heels with a tight throat. You slide your hands in towards the ends of the knees so you're in kneeling cat. You catch those knees. The belly performs in and up. Your back line is spread. My hips are already tucked in like cat and they are below my body. Feel that. Feel the way that your heels and hips are combined. Then stick your butt out. You'll see that your belly will spill forward. Your hands can't help but leave your knees. They circle in midair. They catch your low back. And then you posture yourself in this reverse cow. Get your shoulders behind you, your elbows in. Your hands are on your low back, so you reverse it through feeling. Let your fingers push your tailbone below you. The hands will abandon as your ribs go in. Your head falls and your knees are caught. Just a couple more like that, ripple through it. If you're practicing at home and if you need a little more, you can always morph this into a camel pose. Find a neutral spine. Then come into seated. One last twist after all of those twists. Bring your legs out to a V. Modest V. Pull your right leg in. The left leg is straight. Tap the left hand behind that straight leg. Bring your right arm to the inseam of the right inner thigh. Stop sign your hand and then twist open to your left. So your belly exposed to the straight long leg. Maybe your neck, your eyes follow the twist. The left toes are fanned. Then loosen that eager right hand. Twist the torso back through center. The left hand can hop around. Just go back into that modest V shape. Simple switch. The left heel comes in. The right leg is sticking out straight on that angle. Right hand stacks behind you. Weave your left arm in. And then promote that arm against leg, leg against arm as you twist open to the right. Your fingernails, your forearm lean backwards. Your chest opens. Your eyes could go over the back shoulder. And then slowly untangle. Get lazy in this front arm. And walk yourself around. You can just come into cross-legged. And that is the end of your practice. If you need more, take a quick butterfly pose and then end it with a seated meditation or a straight up Shavasana. Namaste.